You know, you see it in the headlines all the time. It's a weapon system that literally shifts the balance of power wherever it shows up. It can create a no-fly zone hundreds of kilometers wide just by existing. We're talking, of course, about the S-400 Triumph, which might just be the most advanced and, yeah, the most feared air defense system on the entire planet.
I mean, think about it. Countries like India have risked some serious international sanctions just to get their hands on one. So, what is it? What makes this one weapon so powerful that a nation would be willing to bet its entire foreign policy on it? That's the real question, right? All right, let's get into it.
Okay, so to really understand what makes the S-400 so powerful, we've got to break down what it actually is. And the first thing you need to know is it's not just one thing. It's not just a missile. It's a whole integrated system, basically a fortress built to stop anything that flies.
At its heart, the S-400 is what's called a surface-to-air missile system. Now, if you've heard of the S-300, which was already a really tough system, this is its highly advanced successor. And it was designed with just one goal: to find, to follow, and to destroy pretty much any kind of aerial threat you can imagine, from stealth jets to cruise missiles, long before they get anywhere close to their target.
So the secret sauce here isn't just one amazing piece of tech. Nope. It's all about how a team of very specialized components work together just perfectly in sync. And the easiest way to wrap your head around it is to think of it as three distinct parts. You've got the eyes, the brain, and the fist.
All right, let's start with the eyes. This is a whole network of incredibly powerful radars. And the star of the show, without a doubt, is a radar codenamed Big Bird. This thing is a giant mobile unit that can spot and track up to 300 different targets from, get this, 600 kilometers away. I mean, just let that sink in for a second. That's so far, it basically lets you look deep into your neighbor's airspace. That alone completely changes the strategic game. Then you've got the Gravestone radar, which supports Big Bird by locking onto specific targets for the missiles to follow. So all of this information, all this data from the eyes, it all gets piped into the brain. And the brain is the mobile command and control post. This is really the nerve center of the whole operation. You've got operators inside, and they're just getting flooded with data from the radars. Their job? To figure out who's a friend, who's a foe, and to make that life or death split-second decision to engage a target.
And that, of course, brings us to the fist. This is the part that does the hitting. We're talking about the launchers themselves. They're called TELs, for Transporter Erector Launcher. And each one of these big mobile trucks is carrying 4 missile tubes, just ready to go, ready to unleash all that power at a moment's notice.
But here's where it gets really, really smart. The true genius of the S-400 is its versatility. See, it doesn't just use one kind of missile. Oh no. It can carry a whole mix of different interceptors for different threats. You might have some short-range missiles for taking out pesky drones, and then right next to them, these massive, very long-range missiles designed to take out something like a big command and control aircraft, 400 kilometers out. It's this layered approach that lets a country create this nearly impenetrable defensive bubble around whatever it needs to protect.
Okay, so we've met the whole team: the eyes, the brain, and the fist. Now let's put it all together and see how they work in what is an unbelievably fast and lethal process known as the digital kill chain.
And this whole thing happens in just seconds.
Okay, here we go.
Step 1, Big Bird spots a target. Step 2, the brain immediately analyzes the threat and tells the Gravestone radar, lock onto that one. Step 3, the command post gives the order to fire, and they'll often launch 2 missiles per target, just to be extra sure. Step 4, Gravestone guides those missiles all the way in, making constant adjustments. And finally, Step 5, the command post confirms the kill and is already scanning for the next threat. It's just seamless, a brutally efficient, lightning-fast process.
Okay, so what is it that makes that whole process so much more effective, so much more dangerous than other air defense systems out there? Well, it really boils down to a few mind-blowing numbers and one absolutely brilliant design choice. First off, let's talk about sheer volume. The S-400 can track up to 300 separate targets at the same time. Think about that. It's not just seeing one plane, it's seeing an entire air attack force getting ready hundreds of kilometers away. But okay, tracking a lot of things is one thing. Actually shooting at them is another. And this is where it gets really scary for any pilot. The S-400 can engage up to 80 of those targets all at once. So that classic tactic of a saturation attack, where you just throw so many missiles or planes at a target hoping some get through, that might not even work here. That capability alone completely changes the attack calculus for any air force.
And look, once the S-400 decides to launch, escape is, well, it's pretty much impossible. Its fastest missiles are screaming through the air at Mach 15. That's about 5 kilometers every single second. To put that in perspective for you, even our most advanced fighter jets have a hard time breaking Mach 2 or 3. By the time a pilot gets a warning, it's already over. There's just no time to react.
And remember that brilliant design choice I mentioned? This is it. You see, a lot of other systems use these angled launchers, right? They have to physically point the truck in the general direction of the threat. Not the S-400. It launches its missiles straight up, vertically. They go up, and then they turn towards the target. And what that means is a single S-400 battery can defend in every direction at once, a full 360-degree bubble of protection. There are no blind spots. And when you start to put these things together, the sheer amount of firepower is just immense. So a standard unit is called a regiment. A regiment is usually made up of 2 batteries. Each battery has 4 launchers. So that's 8 launchers in total for the regiment. With 4 missiles per launcher, you're looking at 32 missiles ready to fly at any second. And that's not even counting the hundreds more they have ready to reload. But for all of this incredible power, the S-400 is not invincible. It is not some magical, impenetrable shield. It has one major, fundamental weakness. A weakness that enemy pilots are absolutely trained to try and exploit.
And that enemy, it's something no amount of engineering can ever really fix. It's the curve of the Earth itself.
You see, radar works by sending out beams that travel in a straight line. But, of course, the Earth is round. So if you're a pilot and you fly really, really low, hugging the terrain, you can actually hide below the radar horizon. You can use the curve of the planet to sneak in. And that means you can get dangerously close, maybe just a few dozen kilometers away instead of hundreds, before the S-400 can even see you. And that cuts its reaction time down to almost nothing.